Hey everyone, it's Abby. It is so difficult for me to make videos just because my schedule is very inconsistent, and sometimes when I'm like done with work, I will sometimes work after work and then I just like don't have time, and that can go on for several days. So I just haven't really found like, I have like a Google Calendar and I plan out the days of the things that I want to achieve and the things that I want to work on, but it just never really just can happen because my work schedule is just like all over the place. I just need to try harder. There's no excuses, like literally. The time that I decide to go to sleep, I could have time to vlog. The time that I decide to wake up, I could wake up earlier. Like all of these things are like completely adjustable, and it just really is up to how you want to prioritize things and what's important in your life or what's important to you. So we have oatmeal. I don't really count exact, I kind of just eyeball it. This oatmeal is the Quaker oats from Costco. There is some hemp, what's it called? Hemp shells. What else did I add? Oh, chia seeds. I like to add a little bit of cacao nibs just because it adds some chocolatey flavor, and I love chocolate. Alright, so, oh, I'm also missing cinnamon. I got the cinnamon from Whole Foods and I think it tastes a lot better than the ones from Trader Joe's. Either I got like a faulty one, but this one actually hits. It's got that spice. It's how cinnamon's supposed to taste like. So definitely recommend this one. Cosmic apples are my favorite. I used to be a Honeycrisp fan until I discovered Cosmic, and now it's my go-to apple. If you haven't had it before, I recommend it. Thinking a lot about life. As always, when do I not think about life? I mean, like recently I've been thinking about, before I go to sleep, I always try to like make the most out of my nights, and I'll sleep at midnight because just knowing you have to do the same thing over again the next day, I just feel like I just want some time to myself. And it just kind of is like crazy if you think of it, that like every single day it's just always constantly going to work. And for me, after work I still work, and then I'm just kind of like, what is even the point? Like working so much, so hard. I don't know, I've just been questioning my life recently, and there's a lot of things that I want to get done, but is it like, is this gonna make things better? Is this gonna make things worse? I feel like there's a lot of things that I could totally change if I wanted to. There's a lot of things that I could start doing if I wanted to. I just don't know. I just feel like I never have time. Like I do want to start or continuing or be consistent with YouTube, but when things just don't follow a certain routine, or it does like a little switch up for me, I just can't. Like if I eat lunch typically around 12 and then like the next day I'll eat lunch at like 2, my day feels completely different for some reason. So I need to make use of my time better. And actually, yeah, surprisingly, I don't really game that much that often. I used to be able to I used to game like right after work a lot. Like I would just jump into gaming. Things are different now. I think it's been too long where I constantly fear of like what people think of me and stuff. And I just feel like, how awesome would it be to just like be your complete self? And people love that. Put a little bit of cinnamon, maybe a lot. Put a lot of cinnamon in. I never get sick of this. I actually used to use blueberries instead of apples, but apples kind of gives me like the taste of like apple pie with like a little bit of like spice. My overnight oats, it's gonna be ready tomorrow morning, and yeah. I also made my vision board. It's always different each year, which is pretty cool. But I also have like some motivating quotes as well. I did see one that was also good, but I didn't have it on my vision board. But it basically was like, do not make this year the same as last year. Like, don't make the same mistake of like not getting things done or accomplished, and like achieve more and actually do something different this year. I feel like we often just like say it's a new year and we don't really like reflect on like why last year didn't go well or good, or kind of like just seeing how things went. We're always looking forward and we're always moving forward. We don't really realize that we can learn a lot from our past and how things can be different for things that are upcoming. So that's why I had that video where I wanted to like discuss of like reflecting 2024. And I've actually surprisingly made some changes already this year, and I didn't start on January 1st. And it's completely okay to not need to like start January 1st. Like just because it's like the 5th or the 7th, you don't have to be like, oh, well, I can't like achieve like the goals because I didn't start on the 1st. Like you can start at any time. And like starting is better than not starting at all. So I started journaling a little bit here and there, tracking my habits, as well as kind of doing like one line a day. And I think it's nice to just kind of like really know like what you did day by day, because if you don't really like write down what you did for the day, it just kind of like all meshes up together. And then you're just like, oh, where did all the time go? Like what was actually memorable, or what is, you know, what's something that stuck with me or something that I learned. So I'm trying that out for the first time in my life. But yeah, gonna see how long that continues. And I actually do want to start reading again if I can, when I can find the time to read. It's all about, you know, prioritizing your time and just like being able to manage and stick with it and be consistent with how you do things, because it was actually really hard for me to stretch every single day. And I was like so close in just being like, I'm just gonna skip today. But then I think to myself, like, I'm ready on a like I'm already on a streak of doing it for like 2 weeks in a row. Do I really want to just like stop just today and just like break that streak? So that's why I'm also doing habit tracking, because when you see that you have all these like different, you know, boxes checked on the things you do every single day, you're going to want to commit to it, and you're going to want to keep going, because you are already in that momentum and you don't want to like stop and then have the chance of just completely giving it up. So yeah, that is my little talk. And if I can do this like more often, just like speaking my mind, that'd be amazing. I just still like, you know, I just still have like the fear of like talking to a camera, but the more you do it, the better things will get. But yeah, that's all I have for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.